Señor, toma mi vida nueva antes de que la
I am
espera.
Maria Garcia de Fleury. In the history of the popes, we find two with the title of Great in the 5th century, St. Leo the Great and St. Gregory the Great. They lived in a time when great events occurred at very conflictive times. Leo was born in Tuscany, Italy, received a careful education, and spoke the national language Latin very correctly. He was secretary of Pope St. Celestine and Pope Sixtus III, and was sent by him as ambassador to France to try to avoid a civil war that was going to break out due to the fight between two generals. While there, he received the news that he had been named Supreme Pontiff. That was the year 440. From the beginning of his pontificate, he showed great qualities for the job. He preached to the people at all festivals and left 96 sermons that are preserved and are true gems of doctrine. He instructed those who were far away through letters. We have 144 letters preserved from him. Pope Leo the Great had to fight hard against two kinds of enemies, the external ones who wanted to invade and destroy Rome, and the internal ones who tried to deceive Catholics with errors and heresies. For example, around the year 452, Italy trembled in front of the invasion of the army of Attila, the leader of the Huns. Much of the northern Italy had fallen into the hands of the invader. The cities had been sacked, razed to the ground. Attila, who was said to be so bad that the grass he walked on would never grow again, continued his advance towards Rome. But there, the history stopped, because Pope Leo the Great led a delegation to meet Attila and dissuaded him from continuing the war of invasion. It is said that Attila, king of the Huns, retired after seeing the apostles Peter and Paul appear behind Pope Leo, armed with swords. 3 years later, once again, Pope Leo the Great, always unarmed, stopped the Vandals of Africa, led by King Genseric, at the gates of Rome. Thanks to his intervention, the city of Rome was looted, but not burned. The basilicas of St. Peter, St. Paul, and St. John remained intact, and large part of the population found refuge in them, saving their lives. Pope Leo dedicated himself greatly to the protection of doctrine. He convened and inspired the Ecumenical Council of Chalcedon, where the union in Christ of the two natures, human and divine, was recognized and affirmed, rejecting the heresy of Eutychus, who denied the humanity of the Son of God. Leo's intervention at the council occurred through a doctrinal text that was read publicly to the 350 council fathers, who welcomed it by acclamation, saying, "Peter has spoken through the mouth of Leo. Leo has taught according to piety and truth." Pope Leo was defender and promoter of the primate of Rome. He stood out as a theologian and a pastor, attentive to communion between the various churches, without forgetting the needs of the faithful. He encouraged works of charity in a Rome overwhelmed by famine, poverty, injustice, and pagan superstitions. He carried out all the indispensable actions, as we read in his writings, to have justice with perseverance, lovingly offer clemency, since he said that without Christ we can do nothing, but with him we can do everything. He was aware that with God we always win.